Good day, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Stretford in Manchester United Euro Show. And in today's episode, we have three countries in Scotland with Scott McTominay, Spain and Sweden later on tonight with David de Gea and Victor Lindelof. So, without further ado, let's get into the business. So, later on today, we will see Scotland taking on the Czech Republic, and that being said, we are going to speak about Scott McTominay. And we know as well, Scott McTominay, Scott McSauce, as some would say, and as some would say, McFred, because, we've seen him partner himself with, Fred in a defensive midfield position for Manchester United. And he has done well, better than Fred in most instances. And he has become a fan's favorite. And he has become one of Ole's players that he can depend on in the big games. Hence the reason why we've seen more of Fred and McTominay together rather than just one of them alone. He has shown some quality, when playing alone next to a Paul Pogba or to a Nemanja Matic. He has shown more energy, more aggression. He's definitely someone who reminds you of a Darren Fletcher, someone who's got high energy, can press, can close down, can tackle, is very good box to box as well. We've seen the goals that he can score. He's composed when he finds himself in the final third. And, he's also very good in terms of set pieces, in terms of being an attacking threat, but also a defensive asset as well. And, when he was called up to the Scotland squad for the Euros, it wasn't a surprise. I mean, pundits have said that he would easily make the England squad for the Euros. As a defensive midfielder, he is no more better than Calvin Phillips, if not better, because he has obviously played in bigger games, shown himself in much bigger moments in a so-called perhaps weaker midfield, if I have to put it that way. And Scott McTominay has shown throughout his time with us and also on the international stage that he is ready and capable of performing in the big games. And what big games are there other than playing for your country, at a top European competition such as the Euros? But they are facing the Czech Republic, and Scotland don't really have that much players in terms of quality and that can cause trouble, but they are a very good team together. They tend to always make sure that they are dogged, they defend hard, they close all the spaces, they will tackle you and close you down as soon as they can. And on a later stage in the Euros, you'll see Scotland take on England, and that's going to be a very, very, very difficult game in terms of hard English style British football, where players are going to go at it, that people are going to tackle each other, and it's going to be a very, very feisty game. When that game does come around, I think it's the one game that the Scottish are looking forward to. They seem to be perhaps maybe the surprise package in the tournament, similar to years ago when Greece had their opportunity. And yes, we know Greece won the Euros once upon a time, but they were also the team that were not touted to do well in the tournament. But through team spirit, through hard work, they basically showed that they can be a team to trouble, the top countries. And with the likes of, as I said, Scott McTominay, they've got Kieran Tierney, a left back from Arsenal. They also have, Andrew Robertson from Liverpool, who is a quality left back, as we very well know. They've got John McGinn as well from Aston Villa, who is a very good central midfielder who was touted by Sir Alex Ferguson to be a signature, for us, because we tend to have looked at these players, but we tend to not really go for them. But nevertheless, these are the players that can perhaps cause trouble, for the Czech Republic, and can perhaps cause an upset in a sense, because the Czech Republic are the favorites in this. Most of the players have, experience playing for their country at the top level. And, as I've said, Scotland are the underdogs, and they tend to like that term, because it kind of gives them an advantage in terms of having nothing to lose in a sense. But I don't think they're coming into the tournament, with a sense of, oh, we are the team that is touted to be, the team that would not perform that well. But I think they're coming forward with impetus to perform, and with the whole country behind them, they surely want to, make an impact, such as, Iceland did when the World Cup was on. So moving along on to the next country that we'll be playing today, it is Spain and Sweden. And of course, we have David de Gea coming up against Victor Lindelof. And this is also going to be a very interesting game because, first of all, with David de Gea, he has a very good, Spanish team, with him for the tournament. But he is not really Spain's number one anymore. he used to be there, years ago when he was literally winning player of the season for us 3 seasons in a row, where he was just absolutely immense and immaculate, in goal for us. And he certainly saved us so many points for so many games. And rightly so, he was our player of the season. And that, kind of pushed his status to, goalkeeper of the year, world goalkeeper of the year. And even sometimes, he was touted as the best goalkeeper in the world at the time for quite a long time. And this was in the times of when Manuel Neuer was winning the World Cup for Germany. So that was kind of a very big statement and a stature that David de Gea had. But over the past, 2.5 seasons, we've seen a bit of a dip in form, a dip in confidence. We haven't seen the best of David de Gea. The mistakes that he's made has piled up, and it's really shown that they say that goalkeepers tend to have their best times and in their career and experiences there when they are older. But for somehow for De Gea, it looks like he's becoming more amateuristic in his, saving abilities, his shot stopping abilities, and he's made goalkeeping errors that are for schoolboys, as some people would say. But he tends to have good games, as we've seen, in the semi-final we played against in the Europa League. He was quite good in that, ensuring that he made every single save against Roma. And even though we lost the game in Rome, he still tended to get the man of the match because of his, wonderful ability in goal on that particular night. And we know that he can do that. But, Unai Simon and, Robert Sanchez being there, and also they are goalkeepers that perhaps are not better than him in terms of ability and in terms of, having experience at the top level, but they have performed better over the season. With Dean Henderson giving De Gea a bit of a run for his money in terms of the number one position at Manchester United, that basically shows that, David De Gea is not at his 100% best. But we'll have to wait and see later on if he will start, in today's game against Sweden. And if he does, I'm sure he will want to do the best for his country. And it is also a pity, that we don't get to see Saul as well, which we'll speak about on a later stage later on today, in the transfer show. And definitely keep a lookout for that. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so before. We're trying to reach 50 subscribers by the end of the month. And also, we want to ensure that we reach more Manchester United fans throughout the country and also across the world. So definitely get us help with us. And thank you for those who are supporting the channel and definitely watching and enjoying as well. So moving along onto Sweden, it is Victor Lindelof that we are going to focus on. And of course, we know Victor Lindelof very well. He is, Ole's preferred partner for Harry Maguire, in our first 11, strongest 11, if you have to put it that way. Even though most people would probably go for Eric Bailly as a better partner for Harry Maguire. However, Victor Lindelof has, been that number one partner next to Harry Maguire, and he's also been number one for his country as well in terms of this that he has given to Marcus Rashford in certain games for Manchester United, and that has been a very good asset, that Sweden can have. Of course, we know Spain will, of course, have possession of the ball. Spain will definitely want to try and pass Sweden to death. But Sweden will sit back. They'll try and play on the counter-attack, and they will perhaps try to catch Spain out, when they leave spaces in behind. And, Lindelof will have to be very, very good in his game today because he'll go up against the likes of Gerard Moreno, against the players such as Thiago who can pick a pass, So, yes, this might mean that he will have to have and use his aerial ability, which is not the strongest, but he is able to do well in the air, as we have seen. And we know that he can, do better, as we probably believe so as Manchester United fans of him. But in the country and for Sweden, it's been a bit more difficult for him because he doesn't really have that players that can give him the outlet that he needs in terms of holding the ball up. But he definitely will be one of the rocks in the defense for Sweden. And it's going to be a very interesting game later on to see how the Spanish go on and take, on Sweden. And as you've seen with Donny van der Beek's Netherlands, nothing is a given. Ukraine nearly came back and, not just got a draw, but nearly won the game. So again, it is a very good tournament that we have seen thus far. And we are going to see even more great games because a lot of players are playing for their futures at their respective clubs, but a lot of countries are also trying to make a statement after not doing so well in previous tournaments in years gone by. Moving along, of course, to how I feel, today might turn out in well. So moving forward, it is just a sense of something that we're going to have to ensure. We're looking at a player like Scott McTominay today. We're looking at a player like David De Gea if he does play. And of course, we're looking at Victor Lindelof should he definitely will start today. That is it for the Manchester United Euro show. As I have said before, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for also supporting the channel. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so before. Definitely hit the notification bell as well. For later on, we will be speaking about the latest transfers with regards to Manchester United. And that has got very interesting news, as I trust you guys know. But also, there is a few other interesting things that you guys would love to hear. Thank you guys for watching. Definitely enjoy the football for later on today. Till we see each other again. Goodbye from the Stretford and the Manchester United Euro Show.